Good evening, everyone, and welcome to This Week from Rockdale. And it's me, as usual, your host, Larry Cox. And having some people having technical difficulties tonight, some people having a hard time finding the show. And my guest is having a hard time getting the link to work. So we may or may not end up having Renee Simpson on this evening. And if we can't work that out, what we'll end up doing is we'll end up rescheduling Renee and getting her on here before Monday. Uh, uh, you know, Saturday or Sunday. We'll see about that. But we're going to give her a few more minutes, see if she can work out the technical difficulties and try to get on. And I've had a few people text me and say they can't find the show. So I am going to go look on Facebook and see if the show is out there. So, yep, the show is live on the Larry Cox, and it's. Let me go see if it's live anywhere else. Gotta see. Bill Campbell says he just found it. That's good. It's not good to be lost. He actually called. He actually texted me and said, "Larry, are you alive?" And I said, "Yes, I am." Are you alive? Yes, I am. So, you know, the world of technology. It's on Facebook now, Lisa. It wasn't. I don't know what was going on with it. Uh, now Bill found it over on my personal page. So I had some technical difficulties. Renee is having a hard time actually getting the link to work. So it's who knows what's going on with it. So we're gonna give her a few minutes, see if she can get on or not, and if she can't get on, then we will postpone this segment of This Week from Rockdale and reschedule. But that's what we'll do, right? Bill Campbell is present. Corliss Turner is present. Lisa Lancaster is here. Charlotte Gellert is here. And we've got a few other people that are also watching. So it's great to have you guys on here live tonight. And Cheryl Cheryl Moulton can't find it either. I'm going to tell her just to go to my personal page. Yep. So I don't know what the deal. I mean, you guys, it's just sometimes when you don't go on time, it doesn't like to work. Uh, so in Facebook, yes. So very interesting. But I will talk about what we're going to do with the lineup this week, right? So going to be an interesting lineup as we go forward. Sunday, we are going to let's see here. Yep, profile pic, hit live, and it'll do that. That's right. You can hit the profile picture, hit live, and it goes to the show. So yeah, it just didn't want to work tonight for some reason, and then it started working. Bill Campbell found it on This Week from Rockdale. It just did not want to work tonight. Got it working a little bit now. Crazy shows that technology is just crazy, guys. But yeah, we got it going on. I just apologize for coming on late. I was trying to work with Renee to get her stuff to work, uh, and what's her name says she got the muckle feed and not that feed. So let me tell her. Hold on one second too. Hold on. Giving her some direction. So yeah, so Sunday, I am going to do a couple shows. So it's going to be an interesting night, right? And Monday we're going to actually Sunday we're going to do Clarence Cuthbert at 8, and then at 9 o'clock you're going to have myself, Justin Kinney, and Tanae Davis, and we're going to do an education roundtable for about a half hour. Talk about what we would like to do when we're on the board and just some policy. Cheryl's here now, and that's going to be an interesting conversation with me, Justin, and Tanae. And then Monday night, I'm going to have Janice on at 8, and we're going to do a wrap up with her about because she's ran a whirlwind campaign. I really want to talk with her about it, right? So she decides 2 days before qualifying she's going to run, gets into the race, has no preparation, hasn't got a committee established, doesn't have anything prepared, and has to get a campaign kicked off the ground from zero. And I'm very impressed with what she's done, how she's doing in the campaign, with doing that campaign just from startup, right from qualifying, starting up right then. So, most of the time you got the advantage. Like for me, I was qualified back in September of 23. So, I was able to do a lot of groundwork, get a lot of things prepared, know how I was going to run the campaign and have a strategy. Janice had to like do everything on the fly. So I want to talk to her about that, talk about that experience, about having to do that. And I think it'll be interesting to be able to do that, right? So I think as we get to talk to her Monday, and and just and get to talk to her about what she's learned on the campaign trail, talking to the citizens of Rockdale County about how they feel. She may have thought one way when she started running, but after talking with all the people, you know what she thinks now compared to then. I think it'll be very interesting, to get her a perception of the race and how it's doing. But it is very crazy as far as campaign cycle, and just and then just also just the campaign signs, guys. My lord, I mean, I've put so many signs out this campaign cycle, and I've had so many taken. And here in the last week, my signs are being targeted when others they're with other candidate signs. They're the only ones being taken. I'm replacing them. But I take that as a badge of honor. People are taking the signs because they're concerned about my candidacy, my winning this board seat, and what that means for the current superintendent. Well, I'm going to tell you what that means for the current superintendent when Larry Cox is elected to the post one position. Justin Kinney is reelected. It means in January, we will be doing a changing of the guard. It means that the current superintendent will no longer be the superintendent, and we will begin doing a search for the right superintendent of Rockdale County Schools. That's what it means. And it's been a hard fought race, because there are forces out there that don't want to see change. Then we get halfway through the election cycle here with after qualifying, we start doing forums, and the incumbent BOC members, and that doesn't include Justin because he was appointed, not an incumbent. He's not earned your vote yet. He's doing that now. But those incumbents stopped coming to forums because they didn't like what they were hearing out there in the community. They didn't like the community saying we don't like the educational system. They didn't like the community saying we know that things are bad in the school system and you guys are covering it up. I mean, they were being told the truth and they didn't want to hear it. So they backed off, stopped coming to forums because it was really hard for them to keep spilling that propaganda that they were doing. And, guys, as Rockdale County citizens, we deserve better. We deserve the truth, and we deserve elected officials that will stand with us and for us and by us. And right now, we don't have that. And I think after next Tuesday, There's going to be some shakeup in Rockdale County, and we are going to have there'll be a new day in Rockdale County. A new day in Rockdale County. Uh, the middle schools are bad in Rockdale County. I've been through. I'm going to put up that up so that people can see that. So middle schools are bad. I've been through a lot with principals. So, and that and that's a story I've heard a lot in Rockdale County. That they get no satisfaction, no justice. They just lip service being done, and that's got to come to an end. That's got to come to an end, and parents have to have a resolution. They have what they say, what they feel, and what they say has to matter at the end of the day. And I've got some ideas about some policy that we can put in place about, you've got to go through the proper chain of command. But after going through the chain of command, going through the teacher, the principal, going through the educational portion, if you've not got your day, if you don't feel satisfied, then you should have the ability to plead your case before the board. And that's a policy that I'm actually going to work on to make. I think it's an unofficial policy now, but it needs to be an official policy. That needs to be written policy that, that if you come to a board member, they redirect you to go to where you need to go. Um, and then follow that policy. And if you don't feel you get satisfaction, then at that point, be able to come to the board for the board to be able to hear your issue. So, I mean, and I think that's only fair because we are your elected officials and we do represent you. Contrary to what a lot of people believe, the superintendent and some of the board members, we do represent the constituents, the taxpayers of Rockdale County. If you are an elected official or an elected Board of Education official, you do represent the constituents of Rockdale County. So let's get that clear. When Larry Cox wins this election, I represent you. I will have my town halls. I will visit the schools. I will not do this to interfere with the day-to-day operation. I will do this to make sure we're following policy, to make sure we're educating students, and to make sure that the superintendent and his staff are doing their jobs. That's what I'll do. Justin Kinney and Janie Jones are great. I agree with that also. So, guys, I don't think that Renee's going to be able to get on tonight. So I'm actually not going to stay on. I'm actually going to get off of here. But I will be back Sunday night. And if I can get Renee lined out, then what I may do is bring Renee on Saturday night. And then Sunday do my 2 shows and then my show on Monday with Janice. But I'll be putting a schedule out on Facebook, putting a notice out. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. And like I said, stay tuned, and we're going to actually do some good things moving forward. So, guys, great to have seen you here tonight. We're going to let you off of here. Enjoy your evening, and I will see you guys this weekend.